The number one women's hockey team begins a 6-game homestand this weekend, hosting Lindenwood on Friday and Sunday at LeBon Arena. Both games start at 2 p.m. Head coach Mark Johnson is here. We'll have some opening comments, then take questions.
Thanks, Brian. Certainly pleased with the overall effort, both Friday and Saturday afternoon up in Duluth. I thought the team, came out and after having a weekend off, came out and had some good energy and established a pace that we talked about prior to the games up in Duluth. So it was a good way to come out Friday, and I thought Jenny Ryan played probably her best game of her career. She's number one star Friday afternoon, and had a hand in all three of the goals, and certainly had a big impact on our victory. And Courtney Burke, same type of effort, and was able to establish herself, scored some big goals over the weekend. Saturday's game, our power play was effective. We ended up scoring 3 power play goals, and again, pleased with the effort. And now we get a chance to step out of the league and play a couple weekends at non-conference games, and actually play 6 straight home games prior to heading up to Grand Forks before Christmas break. So it's 8 games before we get ready for finals, and certainly the team's in good position right now. And the object as a coaching staff and collectively as a group is, how do we get better and keep pushing ourselves to try to improve.
Was there shock when you guys finally gave up a goal, and did the team kind of remember what that feeling was like? How did they handle all this?
Probably 2 different ways. One, a little bit stunned that the puck went in from the angle and where the young lady from Duluth shot it from. And I think if Anne Renee had it back, she'd probably like to have that shot over again. She was 99 times out of 100. She'd probably stop it, but over the course of the last couple of weekends, there's a few bounces and a few things that have happened that have kept the puck out. So those tend to even themselves out over the course of a winter. But I think after the game, it was probably a little bit of a relief that I think as an athlete, and certainly whether you're our goaltender, Anne Renee, or some of the other players, I think the big thing was nobody wanted to be on the ice when that goal happened. And so now it's happened, now it's over with, and again, we move forward in how we improve. So it's an impressive compliment to our team, and certainly to the goaltender for, keeping a 0 up there for so long. It's tough to do in our business. And you never go into a season or you ever get into a streak like this and start thinking about, oh, yeah, we're going to get a shutout, or we're going to do this in the next 3 or 4 games. We're not going to give up any goals, because you're probably not very realistic of those things happening. Those type of records just sort of happen. You don't emphasize things. You don't talk about it. You don't want to jinx it. And so it's over with. The big thing is we came out with a real solid win Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
Before the season, one of your concerns was where the goals would come from this year, other than maybe Annie Pankowski. That hasn't been a problem. Are there people who in particular that have stepped up for you that pleased you beyond what maybe you expected?
Well, as I look over the last couple of weekends, Erica Sawchuk jumps out. I mean, she played very strong in her 2 games up in Mankato, with us missing a couple players. Again, scored each night in our afternoon games up in Duluth. Rachel Jones, I think, has 6 goals right now. So as we sat in here in early September, you looked at some of the kids that we were hopeful were going to make a contribution, especially early on in the season, because if they were able to do that, it would build their confidence. And I particularly like where Erica and Rachel have taken their games. They've obviously got more responsibility. They're getting more minutes than they have in previous years, and they're taking advantage of it.
You mentioned Jenny Ryan. She's a heck of a defenseman. Would you consider a solid 2-way defenseman?
I think so. Early in Saturday's game, Melissa Channel, went down and missed a bunch of minutes, and so Maddie Rolfus didn't make the trip up to Duluth, so we were down a couple defensemen. So when that happens, usually your top 1, 2, 3 defensemen are going to get more minutes, and so for Jenny, both Friday and Saturday, she ate up a lot of minutes, and she controls one of our power plays. I think the one thing she's done the last probably 3 or 4 weekends is we seem to get a lot of pucks back to our defensemen. One of the objectives is try to get pucks to the net or look for people for tip-ins, and she's done a real good job. Erica Sawchuk's goal Friday afternoon was Jenny keeping her head up, seeing Erica come through a seam there in the middle of the ice, and a great deflection. And so those things, you work on, and now you're seeing them being executed on the ice. And certainly, as I said earlier, she was a big part of our win Friday, and certainly a big part over the whole weekend.
Anything else for Coach? Okay. Thanks, Mark.